Let's get to the state of the consumer is in focus on Wall Street today after Walmart raised concerns about spending. The company's CFO joined Yahoo Finance earlier today and talked about the slowdown it started seeing at the end of October.
As we look into November, and particularly around some of the events that we've had for our holiday shopping, we've seen pretty good strength. And so what that tells me is that the consumer is being discerning, maybe choiceful, and buying these more discretionary items, these larger ticket items, and they're leaning into these promotional or holiday type events to buy those items. And the shoulder periods around that are a little bit slower than what we've seen previously.
And Walmart wasn't the only retailer raising concerns today. Let's bring in Yahoo Finance Executive Editor Brian Sozzi into this conversation. So Sozzi, let me get your take. I mean, as you've kind of spoken with these retailer CEOs, you've been there talking to the C-suite as you look through their earnings report. What are some of your big takeaways?
Walmart did not lay an egg. And I understand why the market is selling off this stock. Walmart shares 52-week high coming into the report. A lot of expectations built into this. And yes, there was some operating margin pressure year over year because of higher wages. But when you drill into this quarter from Walmart, checked a lot of boxes, at least for the bulls, who probably sent that stock higher into this report. Inventory in the U.S. down 5%. 4.9% comparable sales increase in the U.S. business in the quarter. Oh yeah, what did Target do? Their comparable sales were down 4.9% in the most recent quarter. So Walmart continuing to take market share in the business, not only from Target, but from grocery stores. Another big quarter for groceries at Walmart. Immediately has me thinking, well, that quarter from Kroger, a lot of other grocery stores, probably not good.
There were a couple of other things that stood out to me, not just from Walmart, but from other retailers as well. For Walmart specifically, I thought it was really interesting to hear the word choiceful again
from
like Walmart.
Word.
You like that word?
Is it one word? Is it a dash?
It's just selective. It's another way of saying selective. And John David Rainey, the CFO, is talking about shoppers waiting for events, waiting to almost be forced into buying things. He pointed out, for example, Walmart has 25 toys priced at under $25 to try to lure in customers, which makes me think if Walmart is so focused on discounting, what are we going to see from some of the other retailers as well, especially those who are catering to a perhaps mid to lower income consumer?
No, right on, Julia. And really, three things make a trend for me. So we heard Walmart say people are buying closer to need. That's the same exact thing that we heard, or I heard from Target CFO on their earnings call as well, saying consumers are waiting to the last minute to buy a pair of jeans, waiting to the last minute till it snows or it gets cold to buy a jacket. Going out a couple weeks ago, that's also what we heard from Levi's CFO on Yahoo Finance too, talking about a slower than expected start to the quarter. Now, if there's any savings grace here, retailers are fundamentally in a different position this year versus last year. So while they might be feeling the impact of student loan payments kicking back in October 1st, you saw sales start to soften for these retailers since then. A lot of them are in a better inventory position. Last year at this time, they were sitting in an inventory glut. This year, inventory down pretty much across the board, even at a company like Macy's.
Do you think, Brian, after you read through these earnings reports, you listened to the commentary, that we are perhaps seeing signs of this kind of lower income consumer recession? Because it's been flagged by some analysts. They're looking at savings, they're looking at credit quality deterioration, they're looking at confidence. It's been a theme some are flagging.
I had never heard of this theme really until 2 weeks ago, and I think it was Allianz Bernstein that came out with a really good note talking about we're in a low-income consumer recession. Can you make a case for it? Absolutely. You have that low-income consumer still battling high levels of inflation in everyday essential items. So I know the market cheered a CPI report yesterday and things might happen. We might see disinflation. The average consumer going to Walmart or Target are just not feeling it yet. They're still seeing product prices for groceries, household staples up 15, 20, in some cases 30%. Brian Cornell, CEO and chairman of Target, noted on the earnings call yesterday, baby formula up 40%. So the average household still dealing with a lot of problems. And oh yeah, here's a $500 now they have to send out for student loan payments. A lot going on. What does it mean? Less discretionary purchases.
At the same time, I think we have to separate out what the effect of that is going to be. Because even at a Walmart or Target, if they can preserve their margins, even if the sales are down, as in the case of a Target, for example, they're still going to be okay. And Bank of America has said that if you back out and look at the bigger economic picture, that higher income consumers are much more important for the bigger consumer spending picture. Just to mention a couple of other companies that we heard from in the consumer space, I was looking through some of the other conference calls. We heard from Bath and Body Works, who said they continue to see the customer carefully managing spending. That pressurized basket size and conversion. Based on what we're seeing with the cautious consumer and continued market declines in 2 of our categories, candles are one of those categories, and they're talking about continuation of softer top-line trends in the fourth quarter. Also, Williams-Sonoma said the results they achieved were in an environment filled with ongoing consumer hesitancy on high-ticket discretionary furniture and elevated levels of promotional activity. Now, a lot of these various retailers are handling it in different ways. Williams-Sonoma has stood out by not offering discounts. They've really been holding the line. But we are likely to see a somewhat promotional holiday season otherwise.
Right, and we heard it from even a Home Depot early in the week. Any item really that you don't need and priced over $500 that you have to put on a high interest credit card in this higher interest rate environment, people are not buying. Now, if there's any positive trend to call out, it is beauty. And this is a topic our senior reporter, Brooke DePalma, is digging into. Beauty across the category, Target, Blue Mercury, and Macy's, even Walmart within their health and wellness business, very, very strong. Why? Because a lot of these price points are still somewhat attainable, and these are items that you run out of and you need to replenish them.
I'm trying to look. When's Ulta reporting? On the 30th, on or around the 30th. So we'll
Maybe a good quarter. Just connect.
We'll see.
I'm not predicting.
We'll
I'm not
see.
predicting quarters or stocks, Julie. I don't do that
We'll
stuff.
see.
I don't do that.
At least not on camera.
Yeah, no comment. No comment. You're not getting me.
Brian Sozzi, thank you for joining
Honored
us,
to be here.
sir.
Thank you.
Fantastic.